Well, the dogs have said it. These are two new breeds of dogs, recent new ones that have been added to the American repertoire or collection or whatever. And this reminds me of the dinosaurs. Now, I'm not sure how they were able to distinguish these two dogs here, how they were able to get them, and so on. But I suspect they did some crossbreeding. Some dogs are inbred, like the Chihuahua, to get miniaturized, but they must have mixed, say, the Greyhound and all kind of mix around and come with a dog that there has never been one like it before. Now, of course, if these two dogs here had the sort of male and female of this same look, and they have relations, I don't think they'll look like them. They'd look like whatever they mix them with. Except these here, they've bred them to the point where now that it's predictable that their offspring is going to be like themselves. I learned that it's about 15 times you need to do that and choose this kind of characteristics, and you do it 15 times and then it becomes permanent or more or less predictable, because now and then you might have something showing up sometime, one in a million or whatever, one in a thousand, one in some number. um, and so the dinosaurs, this reminds me of the dinosaurs, because the dinosaurs weren't a purebred. The dinosaurs, I understand, were an amalgamation of different types of animals. Now, um, can you imagine the classic animal? One has some elephant in it to be strong, probably a horse to be swift, or maybe a leopard or whatever. Has snake in it to be poisonous, and some human in it to be able to plan how to kill people. So this person comes in at 6, he wait in a bush. Nobody is there after 7 or whatever. Knock on the door, open the door, shoot, bite them, whatever. Yeah. So that's why the dinosaurs were became extinct. Not only because they were created by humans, which I think is the primary reason. Because in the ark, God led the animals that He wanted to preserve from the um, out of antediluvian. Um, He wanted to bring out only those that He created, and of course humans weren't what He created. He had created some giants, but by Noah's time they had stopped living to 950 and whatever, and they were just making 500-600 years. But humans are specially created humans to become angels, and He wants to save us eventually, and so on. And so yeah, so humans have always been mixing with playing around with genetics and God's creation, and He has shown that He doesn't want it to happen, because He didn't bring any of those out of before the antediluvian world. Just those that He had created, He led into the ark. And so if there were to be another rescue, like He says there's not going to be another flood, but if there were to be one, these two animals here and the Chihuahua and all these would be left out. Only those purebred, and I'm not sure which is purebred, but because in the beginning animals were tigers and lions, if they were around, and bears and so on, they weren't eating humans. Now, of course, Adam and Eve, they were so massive and they were so spiritual that maybe they had angels' protection, and God controlled the minds of the animals. But humans have done things that have made these animals so vicious, and so these scientists got to be careful how they mess in with God's creation, creating things, trying to play a God maybe, but yeah, God doesn't like that, because He didn't save them from the antediluvian world. And maybe the scientists that are playing around with these things, maybe they are showing that they're maybe satanic or evil, and they don't want to be um, back, um, when Christ recreates this earth. So here we have these two new species or types of dogs, whatever. But they're just like the dinosaurs, amalgamation of humans.